never been here before, guys, but real quick, just for everybody back at home before we get into it so they can really know where we are. If Australia is in the building, make some noise. All right, I'm excited. Okay, so I want to start here. I got a lot of stuff up there, right? I kind of want to just know who I'm dealing with first. And if there's anybody in the room, if you ever dream, if you ever think about, being a millionaire, if you ever think about, being in love, or you ever think about, the six-pack, right? Whatever it is, if you're in the room and just from time to time, you're not where you want to be. You're on your way there, but you're not there right now. And you dream about, you think about, what's next, the next 6 months, the next year, the next 5 years. You think about that. If you're in the building, just raise your hand for me. I want to see all those people who are just thinking, good. So let me just, on this side real quick, just give me one person on this side right here. Just tell me what you think about. What, 6 months, a year from now, 5 years from now, just one person. What are some of the things that just consume your thoughts, you think about all the time?
The biggest real estate agent on the
Good. The biggest real estate agent on the South Coast. I like that. I don't even know where the South Coast is, but I like how she said just the whole South Coast. That seems like that's a lot of area. Good. I like it. Good. You think about that.
The richest from the West.
Good. The richest from the West. Good. So there's no competition with South Coast, West Coast, right? No competition right now. All right. Good. Anybody in this room? What do you think about? What do you think about?
Being on that stage.
Good. Being on that stage one day. Good. I love it. I love it. Anybody else over here? What do you think about?
Financial freedom for my family.
Good. Financial freedom for your family. Now, the reason why I ask you this is important because you can't accomplish anything you can't think of. If you can't think it, you can't do it. So where we start, and I say that because being in Australia is really, right now, I know it's not that deep to you, you're from Australia, so it's really not that deep. You kind of took the route you always take to get here. You've seen the Hilton before, but for me, I'm wow, I'm in Australia. And what's so big about Australia is I remember saying to myself, one day I'm going to be international. I remember saying I'm going to be international. I don't know if you know it or not, but from Detroit here, it's real international. It's real international. It's a 16-hour, flight. There's nothing for a long time. There's nothing, right, with water, right? It's a real long flight. But I need you to know that maybe I didn't say Australia, but I did say international. And so there are a lot of places I've been in the last few years. And what makes me different than everybody that grew up in my neighborhood, and a lot of people that grew up in my neighborhood are not where I am, and I don't even want to talk about where they are, but they're human just like I am. But the difference is they weren't thinking about a lot. They were just thinking about going to work. They were thinking about just surviving. I'm from Detroit, so they're just thinking about surviving. They're just thinking about making enough money maybe to, live. But I remember thinking that what if all my dreams became a reality? And then years later, I woke up and I'm living the dream, right? So I want to start there. I want to show you this first slide, because this guy helped me a lot. I don't know, anybody ever read the book or the audio book, The Secret? You're familiar with The Secret? Just raise your hand if you're familiar with The Secret. Yeah, pretty powerful book. And I want to share with one of the master teachers from the book, Bob Proctor. Right? And I had an opportunity to meet Bob Proctor a few years ago, and Bob Proctor kind of coached me, right? And it was weird. So when I saw Bob Proctor for the first time, I was excited. I was speaking, and he was right at the table, right there, right? And I remember looking at him okay, I'm gonna do real good so I can get a chance to meet him, right? Because we know a lot of times, in order to get to another level, you've got to get with people who are at that level, right? And I know you've heard that before, but make sure you take that serious. In order to get to the next level, you have to connect with people who are already at that level. But what's difficult is how do I connect with those individuals when I'm not at their level, right? So that's one thing. So for me, I don't use my speaking just to make money. I really use my speaking as leverage to meet certain people. So I'm on stage and I can see Bob Proctor, and I'm all right, here's my chance. If I do well enough, if I really do good, I might get an opportunity to meet this guy. So I'm going in, and you can see he's listening, he's shaking his head, but I'm not really sure if it's me that, he's really getting into. So I tell a joke, and he laughs. I'm I'm like, I think he's there. I think I got him. And I tell another joke just to make sure that, and he nods, and I'm like, yes, I think I got him. And so afterwards, the guy brought me in, was so excited. Eric, you did a phenomenal job. You know, if there's anything I can do, you know, to help you, let me know in the future. I was like, well, I have something in the present you can do for me. He said, what? I said, I'd like to meet with Bob Proctor. I'd like to do dinner, or I'd like to do lunch or breakfast or something with Bob Proctor. Right? And so he was like, all right, no problem, I'll talk to Bob Proctor. He talked to Bob Proctor, tomorrow morning, Eric, 10:30, can you meet me at 10:30? I'm like, I can meet you at 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, it doesn't make a difference. You just tell me what. So I remember, you know, I got there, and this is a busy guy, and so we started talking, and he was like, you know, how can I help you? I'm like, I'm trying to take my career to the next level. And so he said, okay, you're trying to take your career to the next level. And this is weird, guys, and this is why you want to get with people who are at the next level, because they think so different. So I'm looking for like this, I'm looking for him to say, join my master program, or I'm going to mentor you one-on-one. He didn't say that. The first thing he asked was, how much money are you making? Oh, that's kind of personal. Like, you know, it's going quick here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't get a chance to really even talk about my history. Like, you asking me how much I make. I was like, how much do you charge? And so I was like, you know, I'm proud. It's like $10,000. Proud. My family come from a working class, so that $10,000, it might take a month or two to make $10,000. So I said $10,000, and you can see like the disappointment on his face, like $10,000. I'm like, now wait a minute. First you're asking me how much I make, and then you're embarrassing me. So he said, no, I'm not trying to embarrass you, but he said, what you need to, he said, this is what you need to do. When you go back home, he gave me a little spiel. He says, you need to charge no less than $20,000 an hour. I was like, okay. So I went back home, and people, how much do you charge? I'm like, Bob Proctor said. You know, and if you look Bob Proctor up, like he's like top 5 best speakers in the country. Like I was like right behind Bob Proctor. You know, I didn't know I was behind him at that time, but I'm like right behind him, right? So he's like, all right, Eric, 20,000. So, you know, I go home, and guys, this is weird. Please hear what I'm saying, please. Like, I don't want you to get motivated. I don't want you to get pumped up. Like, I want you to get empowered. When you leave this room, I want you to behave in a way you've never behaved, think in a way you've never thought, because I'll be honest, the West Coast, that's yours. South Coast, that's yours. Like, I'm being honest. That all you have, like I told you, Bob Proctor told me to say 20. And so I went back home and said 20. And it was amazing. Well, first I had to rearrange my staff because the young lady who worked for me, she had a job and she only made so much an hour. So she couldn't say 20,000. It's weird. Like, she couldn't say it. Like, she couldn't say 20,000. If she did, she didn't say it like 20,000. She was kind of like 20,000 and was waiting on the reaction. So I had to give it to CJ. And CJ was like, yo, I'm going to be honest with you. I know E.T. I've been with him for the last few years. I know, like, the man of integrity he is. I know the hours he puts in. Like, C said 20. Matter of fact, I'm going to Malaysia. He charged him 100 with nothing. No plane ticket. That wasn't plane ticket, that wasn't hotel, that wasn't food. And when C says 100, he said it like, you're getting a real discount here. You better hurry, because if you don't, next year it's going to be 150. But if you go with us this year, we'll keep you at, it's what Glenn is saying. So where we start at, no matter how big I blow up, where we start at, I will work with you where we are. So we're charging 100 now. Next year it could be 250. So but the way C is saying it is like, you better get the 100. And they're like, whoa, okay, where do we sign? He's like, you got 24 hours. It's a different, he believes it. And so when you think about being the #1 agent, when you think about being a millionaire, when you think about whatever your business is, take it to the next level. When you think about your life, when you say it, you just can't say the words. You got to say it in a way where you really mean it. So CJ said $20,000. And they were like, no problem, where do we sign? And so about 6 months later, I run into Bob Proctor again. He said, E.T., how's it going? I said, man, it's going phenomenal. He said, what do you mean it's going phenomenal? I was like, at 20, I told him 20. Everybody, they're giving me 20. It's unbelievable. He's like, hold on, what's the problem? You told me 20, I said 20, I got 20, you still disappointed? He said, no, I didn't say 20. I said, no less than 20. He said, you know what your problem is? I said, no, sir. Explain it to me. He said, your problem is, even though you're no longer a high school dropout, even though you're no longer homeless, you still don't know who you are. And if you knew how the world saw you, not how you see yourself, but if you knew the world, and he made that clear, like the world, we're not talking about America, Eric, if you knew the world, If you understood, guys, I'm being honest with you. I didn't know that we were like number 5, number 6 in the world in terms of motivational speakers. I didn't know. Somebody introduced me once and said it when they were introducing me. Like, I've never gone on Google and put my name in Google. I don't do the homework. I just wake up every day, 3 o'clock in the morning. I just wake up and grind. Monday, I grind. On Tuesday, I grind. Wednesday, I grind. Like, I don't get up and look at myself. I don't compare myself. And so he said, Eric, the world, you are world renowned. Like, you are helping people all over the world. When you get to a place where you begin to see yourself like the world sees you, it's going to be totally different. And then CJ now it's like, I've been waiting for you to see this. I've been waiting for you to either see you like I see you. And so now 100 is not a problem for him at all. And here's the crazy part. He's saying 100, and they're saying, okay. And I'm hurt because I'm like, I've been robbing myself of $80,000.